All right, so we just rehoused 2 Poecilotheria ornatas. I'm probably going to do them in a video by themselves. This will be the next one I do. So if you're watching these, I don't even know why I said that. I'm sure people will probably figure it out when they see the P ornatas. But anyway, it's the same day, in case anybody's interested. This is one of the C versicolor babies I produced for my big female, and she desperately needs a new enclosure. Now, this is actually not a bad size for her, but she's got molts, old molts in there that I haven't been able to dig out. There's a lot of webbing. It's just kind of a big disaster area. So I want to get her into something like this one here, which is I think it's about 2-gallon size. I got to put the notes. I probably should have went over to the computer and looked it up before we did this video, but whatever. But again, with the avicularia, the trick is a lot of things online say they have to be kept super moist. We found that's not the case. That generally speaking, you want them a little drier with good ventilation. A water dish helps. And then you can, like I do, moisten down just a little corner of the substrate sometimes in the wintertime because it can get very dry, but I've never had an issue with them having to have super high humidity. That seems to be what everybody thinks. The first one I raised, I got as a teeny tiny sling years ago, and I got some really good advice. They said, don't worry about the humidity, don't worry about the moisture. I had her in one of those AMAC boxes with a little good ventilation in it. I would moisten down a corner. She did great. So this is one of the species people talk about being a good beginner, but they seem to be a bit, yes, here. They seem to be a bit less forgiving of husbandry issues and husbandry mistakes. I wouldn't say mistakes. They just have a more narrow band as far as husbandry goes. So I get a lot of emails, unfortunately, from people who pick them up and then they find their sling dead. You have the old sudden avicularia death syndrome. These guys used to be avicularia. They are now the genus Carribena, but they're very similar to avicularia, and we still get a lot of deaths with them. So what we're going to do here is try to prod her out, I think, into one of the millions of catch cups I have here. Hopefully she'll come out. I'm hoping Billy can get a picture of her. And the colors on these guys are stunning. This is one of the species that I honestly would have a hard time picking out at what point I think they look more beautiful because the slings are that brilliant blue. And then even right now, as she's got some new colors, she might shoot right out of there. Just to let you know, she's a crazy little booger.
Okay.
No, I want you out. I want you. No. Come on, girl. And they can jump. There we go. Now, normally I don't try to prod them out, but it's a Carribena versicolor, so we're going to get a shot of her. Hopefully Billy can get right in there close. Beautiful girl. I don't know if you want to get her on the light here. A little washed out, but you can see the blue on the carapace. That will turn to a green. My son's upstairs playing video games screaming, although we just told him we were filming. The boy's not right. And we're going to go ahead and just try to, no, okay, no. You're not going to do that then. We're going to get you right in here. There you go, no. Yeah, so for people that think they're all little darlings, I have had more trouble with these versicolors as far as just being unpredictable. I'd love to get her on the ground, but. Poke and pray. No. Yeah, there you go. That's your new home. All right, so that's a start. I normally don't use that method, but it's a versicolor. We want to get some footage of her. So beautiful spider. Now, I hope what people were noticing there is I know they can be docile. I've talked to people that have very docile, even tractable versicolors, but keep in mind they can go through mood changes. The big female that produced this one was one of the more docile tarantulas I had until the molt after she had the babies. Then she became a nut job. I just went to clean her water dish. She was shooting around her container. She has definitely changed in attitude. So please always remember, if you do like to handle and have physical contact with your spiders, a spider may be very calm and tractable or handleable one day. Next day after a molt, you could have a totally different spider, and sometimes it doesn't even take a molt. So always something to keep in mind. Except for my H. chilensis, which are just little darlings. I've never had a problem with any of those. But we did have one person that said they got a threat posture for them. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Why did you have to do that? No, come on, up here. No, not, you're not, no. No, there, yes. Yeah, we're gonna try to get her, shoot her down in here. No. I wanna talk about what I got here. So, we're gonna cap this real quick before she gets close to the top. Now, what I got here, I used a cork bark round, something a little different. I did start watching some video of them in the wild and noticed that a lot of them set up in the crooks of trees and things of that nature. I think it was Spider World, which is one of my favorite channels. Spider World? Run over here with me for a bit. Let's go see what it is. We're not going to include this, but I want to make sure I mention it because that's where I saw it. World of Spiders. All right. Yeah! All right. So anyway, I watched some footage on the channel World of Spiders. I'm going to include a link to after this because it's amazing. The guy actually goes out in wild, checks them out, and he had some footage of them out there in the wild and how they live and how they make their webbing up the side of like the trees and the crooks. It was just amazing to see. So hopefully this will provide a situation where she can either go in there while she's still small enough or web around here. The problem people will have with the versicolors is when I put this cap on, she's gonna wanna go up in this corner here. So I have a lot of people that when they do the top opening containers for them, they will web up in the top corner. That's where they feel most secure. And it'd be kind of a pain in the tuchus to open the container and feed them. So we'll see how that goes. If she looks like she's gonna go up there, what I'm gonna do is put another piece of cork bark around here, and that's gonna make a cozier spot for her. Hopefully she'll go in there. So substrate, again, anything will work. This is BioDude. You can use regular cocoa fiber, you can use topsoil, you can use vermiculite mixed in with it, you can use peat, whatever it like. Peat dry tends to be really dusty. Lost my ability to speak there. So I like to use something with a little less dust. But here I've got the BioDude stuff with a little leaf litter, some sphagnum moss in there. Hopefully she'll web up around in here. And for ventilation, again, no ventilation is too much ventilation with these guys. So what I like to do is there's ventilation holes down here, there's ventilation holes down here, ventilation holes up here, all around, so that way you get hopefully some airflow there. So there we go. What I will do afterwards is add a water dish. I may put one up a little higher. I'm working on some templates for something that'll help me put the little cups up higher so they can come up and drink, because I have found as slings, particularly, I found that some of them will web up high, and most arboreals will come down to hunt at some point if there's prey on the ground, but I found with these guys, they sometimes don't. They'll stay up there. They're expecting the prey to come to them. Kind of the opposite of the whole P. muticus thing, where the P. muticus will dig down very low and expect prey to come down to them. They won't surface. These guys won't come down to the surface to get prey. So something to think about. It's one of the few species that when people panic that they're not eating the prey that they're putting in, it is something sometimes that you have to worry about and be concerned with. As a sling, the adult female that I have, I would open up her container, lay it on the side, and basically tweezer feed her the little roaches because she wouldn't come down to get them. And it got to be neat because I would open up the container, I'd lay it on the side, and she would come and wait right at the end because she knew the food was coming. It was a very interesting behavior, as my littlest one screams in the background. So there we go, Carribena versicolor, beautiful species. Can't wait. The next molt, I got a funny feeling this one's going to be showing some of those adult colors. Hopefully I get another female because I want to have these guys around. This is one I will always have in my collection. They're just stunning. Honestly, one of the most beautiful and unique looking spiders out there.